What's up, traders? To watch this video here for Wednesday, April 7th. This is the daily candle right there, the SPY. Very, very narrow range. Another slow day. We've had a lot of slow days lately, but some nice calls in the chat room. I'll start just a quick highlight. Start with RCON. If you take today's candle out of it, remember I had this on bounce watch because they had this huge move and came all the way back down over 5 days to the 20-day, right? Then you can see, well, nice bounce, but did it give an intraday setup? And the answer is absolutely yes. Zoom in a little bit for you. So there's the early high, 498, and it kind of rolled over. Didn't go down very far and started to come back up. I saw the volume spike. I just called this long over 5. I wanted to make it take out the whole number. Takes out 5 and ends up going almost to 590. I mean, that's a great percentage gain. Textbook bounce play, very much what we were looking for. And we called that in chat ahead of time in case people weren't watching it, and a whole bunch of us made a nice chunk on that one. SJ, which had a gap up today, looks like a very ugly finish, but I'll show you where I called it long. Let me go to 5s here. So you kind of had this intraday cup and handle. It had topped out at 1550, came back down, put in a lower high at 1527, kind of started flagging. I called it long through 1525 on this next candle. I called it when it looked like this, 1525. I figured quarter number inflection point with the most recent high 2 cents above, and then the high of day pretty close to that, right? So you had stat catalyst, you had massive volume, and you had a setup where when you have a gap up like this and it sells off and each little bounce is slapped right back down. Look at this. When it looks like this, that's a typical chart that is probably going to bleed lower the rest of the day, right? And this is the exact look when the shorts in this name from shorting the gap up starting to feel pretty confident, right? And justifiably so, because usually something like this doesn't come take out the high of day, but then it curls up. They might have gotten more confident again when you see the lower high. And anyway, so you had a lot of shorts in the name that had to get out once this broke the high of day, and that's where that big move came from. Nice trade in that one. Again, I called it long through 1525, and it went to 1850. Even with the ugly close, we don't care because we're day traders, right? Wayne called PLBY Playboy. I always make the joke. It had a double. I don't even remember what I said now. Like a double D bottom formation or something. I don't know. Anyway, nice call by Wayne and Playboy. It looked like this. He called it long over 29, which is basically a seller's fail scenario and a whole number inflection point. And from 29, it ended up going all the way to 33.49, $4.49 move in our favor on about 50 cents risk. Really, really nice call by Wayne, and really was never underwater after the trigger. So anyway, there's a few highlights from today. What are we watching for tomorrow? RMO had massive volume and a pretty strong close. We're going to look for a follow-through day on that. GBOX, nice breakout today. We're going to see if that has any kind of follow-through pattern tomorrow. PAVM, let me pan out a little bit here. Same thing, big breakout today, big volume. We'll see if it gives any kind of setup tomorrow. XL is one ugly daily chart. So why is it on watch? If you go to 5-minute candles, or maybe even 15s, I mean, this thing just made a really nice move from the lows of almost 720 all the way to almost 880, and it broke the previous day's high at one point before pulling back a little bit. And pretty nice volume. Go back to the daily and see it had, it's the biggest volume in probably about a month, almost a month, maybe a month. So maybe this bounce follows through. Again, not a pretty daily chart, but as a day trader, I happened to see that today and thought, you know what, I'm going to watch that tomorrow, right? RKT, another one that's not a pretty daily chart, but when you go to 60s, had a pretty nice pop back here all the way to 27.44 and then just came right back down. Let me switch to 5s now, and had a nice pop today. I think Nigerian called this as a good long at this point, and big volume came in, and it kind of bled lower after that. But because of, for instance, this move today, which was a decent move, and then this massive move back here, there are a lot of shorts in the name, and you could argue that it kind of held the 22 support that it hit back here. So maybe it's up from here. I don't know. I'm going to put it on watch. GALT, big pop today on big volume, closing well off its highs, but we're still going to watch it. EYES, nice volume today. This one hasn't been in play in a while, and it's back in play now. Closing well off its highs, but we'll see if we get an A+ setup. VVOS interesting look here. You had the kind of breakout attempt yesterday, and today an inside day, but closing at its highs. So definitely like the looks of that one. I didn't type that right. CHPT had this pop back here, topped out yesterday at 32.48. Today hits 32.47. So over this 2-day high, let's just say over 32.50, this might get going. I believe it's charging stations for EV plays, for EVs. And EVs, I think, had some news today about a $10,000 tax credit or something. I don't know if that's in stone, though, but that kind of got that whole group moving. MVIS had the big pop 4 sessions ago, and you have consecutive lower highs and now a little bit of a bottoming tail, too. That one is an interesting potential bounce play. And then lastly, SOS, nothing pretty here, but in after hours, this was over $6. And right now, after hours is closed. Looks like it went out around 590. So something's up there. We're going to watch that. And we'll add other gappers to the list as well. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.